Hello, I'm Jose Vega, a federal court certified interpreter, here to provide you some tips regarding the use of interpreters. This is a video that I've been wanting to do. How do you use an interpreter over Zoom? So you have to have a witness testify in a Zoom hearing or a Zoom deposition. How does it work? Well, for a deposition, it's easy. Deposition, you have to take turns to speak. You have to do this anyway because you have the court reporter. The court reporter has to write down the question, has to write down the answer. So you would wait for the interpreter to interpret, to translate into the target language, wait for the witness to answer, and then the interpreter, once the witness finishes the answer, will translate it back into English. So for depositions, it's not an issue, right? It becomes a little bit of an issue with the objections. So it does. So let's say you have a long objection and there's an argument going on. What I would usually do as an interpreter on site when I'm next to the witness in the conference room, and you're objecting, I'm interpreting the objection simultaneously, either with my mouth covered like this or just whispering into the person's ear. So therefore, if you're trying to coach the witness a little bit, that will work fine in a deposition. And they will be able to understand a lot better what's going on. There's something called the equal footing principle, and I will do a video just on the equal footing principle. And it has to do with the witness being at the same level of an English speaking person. So if you're able to coach an English speaking witness, you should be able to coach a Spanish speaking witness. But that's a different story. Now with objections over Zoom, it gets trickier. What we're doing lately is that we are not interpreting the objections unless they are short, unless the attorney specifically wants every translation to be translated, because it just logistically it's a nightmare. Too many people speaking at the same time, and there's usually an answer to the objection, so it kind of it doesn't work very well. But for everything else, depositions, you don't have an issue. What happens when you're in a hearing, though, right? Hearings are long, and there's a lot of information being passed from the attorneys to the judge, from the court back to the attorneys. You cannot do that in consecutive mode. You cannot do a whole hearing in consecutive mode. So some of the judges have been saying, okay, we're only going to interpret for the witness whenever they're going to testify, even if it's one of the parties. So the party's not understanding anything throughout the entire hearing. Well, that's not supposed to be the case. Based on the equal footing principle, a person is supposed to understand everything that's going on throughout their trial. And so then you can get some type of dispute later on because the person wasn't able to understand, some sort of appeal. So what we are doing in Zoom, and here's the solution, for most people, if the person, if your witness or your client is on the computer, they have a computer at home where they're connected through the Zoom, or they're at your office on a computer, we actually have a second line. So I'm interpreting, or one of the interpreters interpreting with a headset, and at the same time, we call them on a separate line to interpret for them on their cell phone. So they are on Zoom, they're on mute. The interpreter is on Zoom, on mute as well, but listening. And we are on the phone with a person interpreting simultaneously everything that is going on, right? Then when it's their turn to testify, we turn the phone off, we hang up the phone or put it on mute, and then we just do consecutive using the Zoom audio. It's not the ideal scenario. ideal scenario is the Zoom simultaneous interpretation feature. I'll do a video on that. It's a beautiful, amazing feature. Beautiful. Well, let me know if you have any questions or your comments below. Please, I do reply to the comments. I will reply. Let me know, and if not, if I don't reply in the comments themselves, I will do a video in answer to your question. Thank you very much. Please like and subscribe if you like this video and if you think it is useful. Thank you.